The sun beat down on the sprawling set in Hyderabad, where an empire was slowly coming to life. It wasn't just a film, it was a dream that director S.S. Rajamouli carried in his mind for years. To bring it alive, every detail had to look as if it belonged to another time, another world. Among the many teams working tirelessly, the costume department became the guardians of authenticity. Designer Rajamouli, along with a team of artists, historians, and craftsmen, began her journey with a question. What did heroes, queens, and warriors look like in a kingdom that never really existed, but had to feel real? She scoured through ancient scriptures, temple sculptures, and paintings from the Chalukya and Vijayanagara dynasties. Every pleat, every drape, every piece of jewelry had to carry whispers of history, even though Mahishmati was an imagined land. For Baahubali himself, the costumes needed to mirror his dual nature, both the gentleman of the people and the fierce warrior king. In one scene, he wore simple cottons, draped loosely, echoing humility. In another, when he strode into battle, his armor gleamed with intricate engravings, a mixture of leather, brass, and specially designed lightweight metal so Prabhas could move with ease. Devasina's attire spoke of royalty wrapped in resilience. Her silks shimmered with temple motifs, her ornaments heavy with tradition, but always allowing her the freedom of a warrior princess. Every shade chosen for her, from deep maroons to radiant gold, reflected her fiery spirit. Sivagami, the Queen Mother, demanded costumes of dominance. Regal Kanchipuram silks, draped in a way that suggested power rather than fragility, became her signature. Her jewelry was less ornament and more crown, declaring authority without a word spoken. The team often worked day and night, sometimes hand-stitching embroidery that would barely be noticed on screen but added depth when the camera swept across a palace court. Armor had to be remade several times, balancing authenticity with practicality, for it had to withstand fierce action sequences. When the first shots were filmed, the actors didn't just wear costumes, they wore identities. The silk whispered history, the metal rang with battles of the past, and the jewels glittered like dynasties reborn. As the cameras rolled, the kingdom of Mahishmati emerged, not only through grand sets and towering waterfalls, but through costumes that turned actors into legends. And so, the story of Baahubali was not just written in scripts and dialogues, but stitched into fabric, hammered into ornaments, and carved into armor. In the Baahubali films, directed by S.S. Rajamouli, many of the grand visuals you see are a mix of real elements and heavy CGI, computer-generated imagery. Here's a breakdown. The animal, bull/oxen, horse, elephant, etc. Some real animals were used during shooting, but many of the large action scenes, like the massive bullfight, elephants, and battle sequences, used CGI-created animals. For example, the bullfight with Shivudu, Shiva/Mahendra Baahubali, dragging a massive Shiva lingam involved a CGI bull for the action shots, as it would be unsafe and impossible to choreograph with a real one. The string jump, rope stunt to climb the waterfall. That iconic scene where Shiva jumps and climbs the waterfall using a rope was filmed with wire stunts and green screens, then enhanced with CGI. The waterfall itself is entirely computer-generated. No such giant waterfall exists in reality. The bull that Shivudu tames in the village is CGI, modeled to look realistic. Real bulls were used for reference, but the dangerous fight sequences are digital. The entire kingdom Mahishmati is completely fictional. The palaces, huge statues, city walls, and battlefields were all created using CGI and elaborate sets. Some small portions like palace interiors, courtyards, and gardens were real sets built for filming, but the grand city you see on screen doesn't exist, it's a digital creation. So in short, bulls, elephants, horses in key action scenes are mostly CGI. Waterfall and rope jump CGI plus stunt work. Bullfight scene is CGI bull. Mahishmati Kingdom is mix of practical sets plus CGI, but mostly computer created. The golden status was not real. It was created with CGI and partial sets. The filmmakers built a smaller, practical portion of the statue, like parts of the base, the feet, or parts of the torso, so that actors could interact with it on set. The full towering golden statue you see rising into the sky was computer-generated, since building a real one of that size would have been impossible. In behind-the-scenes footage, you'll see the actors performing in front of green screens and scaffolding, with the actual massive statue added digitally during post-production. So, like the kingdom of Mahishmati itself, the statue is a visual effects creation, blended with some real set pieces to make it look convincing. The forest scenes in Baahubali were a mix of real locations and CGI enhancements. Many forest shots, like where Shivudu grows up, or when Avantika is introduced, were filmed in real forests around Kerala and Andhra Pradesh. The team also shot in locations like Atharapalli, Kerala, which has lush greenery. The waterfalls, towering cliffs, and certain dense jungle backdrops were digitally extended. For example, the giant waterfall forest area was largely CGI. The forest at the base and top of the waterfall doesn't exist in reality. Some backgrounds were created using green screen and VFX set extensions to make the forests look more vast, magical, and epic than real locations could provide. Forests equals real plus extended with CGI. Waterfall surroundings is mostly CGI. Close-up scenes, like fights and character moments, has been shot in real forest areas. The real filming locations are 1. Atharapalli Waterfalls, Kerala. This is one of the most iconic spots. It's where the famous rope climb waterfall scenes were filmed, though the waterfall was digitally made to look much taller. The lush forests around Atharapalli were also used for several sequences. 2. Mahabaleshwar, Maharashtra. Some of the dense forest scenes and misty landscapes were shot here. 3. Western Ghats, Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka. Portions of forest backdrops were shot across the Western Ghats for greenery and natural forest coverage. 4. Ramoji Film City, Hyderabad, Telangana. The majority of the movie, including the Mahishmati kingdom sets, was shot here. Huge palace sets, courtyards, and indoor scenes were built. Then VFX extended them into the massive kingdom we see on screen. 5. Kurnool, Andhra Pradesh. The Orvakal rock gardens were used for some rocky terrain and battle backdrops. Real forests and landscapes were used for close-up shots and natural feel. CGI extended these locations, making waterfalls taller, forests denser, and kingdoms gigantic. So the forests you see are partly real, Atharapalli, Mahabaleshwar, Western Ghats, but always enhanced with VFX. Would you like me to also map out which scenes were filmed at which specific location? For example, Atharapalli equals waterfall climb scene? The Baahubali movies are two epic Indian films directed by S.S. Rajamouli, known for their grand scale, visual effects, and storytelling. They are among the most successful films in Indian cinema history. This dream beginning 2015 to introduce the fictional kingdom of Mahishmati, and the story follows Shivudu, Mahendra Baahubali, who grows up away from his royal family and later discovers his heritage. It became a cultural phenomenon, especially for the famous question, why did Katappa kill Baahubali? And the conclusion came up 2017, which 1. Answers the big question and reveals the full story. Shows Mahendra Baahubali's rise, love story with Devasena, betrayal by Balaladeva, his cousin, and eventual murder by Katappa under compulsion. 2. Follows Mahendra Baahubali as he avenges his father and reclaims the throne. 3. Became the highest-grossing Indian film at the time of release, breaking multiple box office records worldwide.